Today we will be installing an Idoing Headunit in a 2015 Subaru Outback. To begin, we need to remove the climate control unit. This little trim piece pops off. And then under this trim piece there are going to be two Phillips head screws. With those out, we can move to the top and pop out the vent. This again is just held in with some clips, but be careful not to pull it out too far because there is the connector and the wires for the emergency blinkers. With that out, we can just undo this connector with a little bit of pressure there on the lever. We can go ahead and finish taking out that climate control unit. Behind that there will be two screws on the bottom, and then under the vent there are going to be two more screws on the top. I've already taken those out of the way here. And with those taken out, the whole radio will come out. And on the stock unit you will have four clips that you need to take out and put on the new Idoing Headunit. There are three plugs on the radio that you need to transfer over, and those are highlighted in green. If you choose to use the 4G GPS or Wi-Fi adapter, then you will connect those to the ports I've circled in red, and then what I've circled in blue is the connector for your radio antenna. Also, I've chosen to use an aftermarket microphone. I have mounted it to the steering wheel and I've ran the cord back behind it and through to the radio compartment. To program the steering wheel controls, you need to go to Settings, General, and then scroll down to Steering Wheel Setting. There it will bring up this menu. You need to press the button on the steering wheel you want to program and hold it, and then select the function on the head unit that you are trying to program, and it will automatically save. After that, everything else is just a matter of personal opinion. One thing to note is that the backup camera will work automatically, but you will not have lines on the screen. The Outback also has radar warning when you have cross traffic behind you. It will still have the audible warning, but the icon on the backup camera will not show up any longer. And really, that's it. It's a really simple installation. It is very plug and play. All you need to do now is set your audio settings to your personal liking and enjoy the radio. I have had this radio installed for right around 6 months at the time of finishing up this video. And what I can really say is that this is an amazing radio system for the price. It is plug and play, everything works, and it is not going to be your average Android tablet experience. I've used several Android tablets, and yes, this is based off of Android in some way or another, and with Android tablets, relatively soon after you get them, they start to slow down or get buggy or just become unresponsive within the first couple weeks or months of ownership. But this radio has not been that experience. It is still as responsive and reliable as day one. I turn on the car, it turns on. I go into reverse, it automatically switches to the backup camera, and then when I go into drive, it switches back to the radio screen. It is very seamless. I do use the radio for Apple CarPlay 90% of the time. I have listened to local radio stations semi-regularly, and that has always been a fine experience. Using Waze and Spotify has always been seamless. And whether it is 95 degrees outside, and now I've had it into some 40-degree weather where I live, it still acts right. And that is what you want for a radio. This is going to be something that you are going to use every single time you drive, and it does not need to be a pain to use. And that was my biggest worry about going to what some would consider to be a cheap generic radio, but that is not the case. Idoing has really worked on their software and worked on making a good product. Their customer service is first rate. I've had a question to ask them a couple times, and whether it's been over email or through Instagram messages, they have always responded in a very timely manner, answered the question that I was asking about. So I can fully say, and I have recommended this radio to personal friends of mine, this is the way that you want to go. I would definitely buy this radio again, and I would definitely buy it before spending all the money on Crutchfield to get something like a Kenwood or a Pioneer with Apple CarPlay, and having to deal with all the other problems that happen when you go to a universal aftermarket radio. I want to thank you guys for sticking around and listening to my review of this, and I hope to give you the confidence that you need to go ahead and purchase this radio if you are having any second thoughts.